An important function when it comes to investments is the PV function. Question in C1 is stated, what's the present value of monthly payments of $2,000 at 6% annual interest I will be making over the next 360 months? We're probably talking about a house here. What's that money worth right now? There it is. How do we get to this value? The function is PV equal PV. 6%, and in nearly every financial function that deals with rates, if it's anything related to payments, more often than not, it's related to monthly payments, so we'll divide by 12. If it were quarterly, we divide by 4, and if it were yearly, we wouldn't put any division in. Over 360 months, $2,000. What's the present value of those payments we will be making? And as in many cases, although that is technically the correct answer, to make that appear and perhaps be able to want to use it and plug it into other formulas, that would probably work better for most people if it were a positive entry. So a quick edit here, put a minus in front of the amount here, and it gets displayed as a positive entry. Another use for the PV function is expressed in row 6 with the question, how much money do I need to invest now if I want to have $150,000 in 10 years? Well, if you're confident that you can get 5%, you need to have $92,000 available. 6%, 7%, are we talking stock market here or some other scheme that you know it's going to work? I'm sort of making fun of the idea that we're not always so sure. But let's show how we can come to this value here by way of the PV function. Equals PV, left parenthesis. We want to be referring to this 5% right here, comma, 10 years, comma. We're not going to be making any payments here, 0, comma. We'd like to reach $150,000. Be sure not to put a comma after the 150. If you work with financial functions, you wouldn't do that, but sometimes you slip up a little bit. So what do we need here? That's the same value we saw before, but once again, it's negative. So ideally what we would do here, most people would put a negative in front of this so we get this value here. Now, if we'd like to test this out for the other amounts here, we can simply copy this or double click it, copy it down the column to see how this stacks up with other rates. If we're confident we can get 10%, then this would be our starting point. This is how much money we need to invest if we're going to get 10% to have $150,000 in 10 years. So here are some valuable uses of the present value. That's the PV function in Excel.